Hi. Episode 6. 6? No, episode 7 actually. Episode 7. Journey to becoming a high achiever. Yes. So we are waiting on our guest for today. Alright. Okay. Um, I don't know. I don't know I'm doing this, but just I don't know. Just seems like I should. Okay. Okay. Hey, morning. Uh, so we are about to get started on episode 7. Episode 7. Peace. Yay. Morning. We are about to get started on episode 7 of the series Journey to Becoming a High Achiever. We are awaiting our guest for today. There you are. Okay. Today's guest is someone who has over the last few years has been able to do some amazing things for himself. All right. He is currently he was able to secure the bag, all right, by building a company called Infamous by Glenn Judo. I would like to refer to him not as the master of steel, but as the master of leather. Yes. Please join me as I welcome Glenn Judo. Okay, I think there's something wrong with just a moment, guys. Should be joining every moment now. Okay, let's do that again. Let's try that again. Yes. Okay.
Hi, Chap.
Awesome. Morning, Glenn.
Irish
How are you doing?
Thanks for having me. How far?
Awesome. I think this is the first time
I'm good,
we're
man. I'm great. Like, how you
speaking.
doing?
Sorry?
What? Yeah, like, I'm good. Like, how you doing?
Great. Awesome. This is the first time we're actually speaking, like, phone call or voice or whatever it is. I think we've always been chatting.
Yeah, basically.
Yeah.
How you doing
So I'm good. I refer to you as not the master of steel, but the master of leather. I don't know why that just came to me, and I like the sound of it.
Oh, that's nice.
Feel free to steal it if you like. All right. So we're going to get right into it. So quickly though, now I'm going to start this off how I start off most of my other conversations. Okay, go ahead.
Yeah, back.
Okay, great. So I'm going to start off this session just like I start off most other sessions with this question or with this week. Now, Glenn Judo, Infamous by Glenn Judo, did not fall from the sky. You did not suddenly wake up one morning and become who you are today. Now, I want you to take us back to a point where you had no idea, where there was uncertainty around what you were doing with your life. What happened in that period, and how did you transition from that to this current day?
Okay, so basically, it all started like in my university days. So I always like to dress up, look good and all that. But the shoes I saw around like from boutiques or online stores. They were really good, but you know, I needed to either like remove something or add something to it, you know. So along the line, I said, oh, why don't I just make mine, you know, make mine to my exact taste, you know. So that's why If Famous really dwells on the whole bespoke idea. But that's how I decided to like create mine, you know, make it to my taste exactly. So I did eventually. Then I made like 5 pairs at that time, and when I did, I was getting like a lot of feedback. But usually my plan, if Famous wasn't even meant to be a business entirely, because I didn't want them to, you know, to cast per se. Because what's the point of having something unique? Then all of a sudden people also have the same thing as unique. So at first, when people would ask me, oh, how did you get your shoes? I would tell them that, oh, it was a gift. Like, I have no idea, you know, just not to,
It
just
was
so
a
it doesn't
gift? That what
cast.
you said?
Yeah. What?
You said
Yeah,
when they
basically.
asked you, what did you say to them?
Oh, I'll tell them it was a gift so that they wouldn't ask more questions about it, you know, like so that like it
Okay.
doesn't cast because it was unique, you know.
Yeah.
So eventually I just said, oh, what's the whole point? That I could actually brand it, you know, make it my thing. So which I did. So you know, I started making it, and from there the rest has been, you know, history.
Okay, so now I was speaking to someone yesterday, all right, and he said something. His words were, "Be shameless about your hustle." Now, how would you say that would you say that in some way had applied to what you were feeling in that moment when you told people that it was a gift?
Sorry, come again.
Okay, so the part where you said you told people that it was a gift. Why did you do that?
Yeah. Okay, because you know it was unique. The essence of me making them is so that I could be like the only one that had them in my community at the time. So if
Okay.
I told them I made it, they obviously want me to make for them, you know, and all that. So it defeats the purpose of it being unique in the first place. So I just wanted it to be unique at that time. Then later on, I
Oh.
realized that that this could be like a business venture and all that because there was a huge gap. There was a huge gap in the market. So I opted in for it.
Okay, so are you saying that Infamous did not really necessarily start from um, um, a driving entrepreneurial force? It was more of you identified a need and you felt you had the capacity to solve that problem, right?
Exactly.
Okay, so
Yes, exactly.
now what have been the the sour sweet sides to building up Infamous that many of us don't get to see?
Okay. Basically, like everyone just thinks that he made it. You know, he takes pictures, and the pictures of shoes are nice, but like they never see the process, they never see the errors, they never see the fact that you may get like an order and have to make it like for the third time. You know, because usually they're usually by hand. You know how hand is that there's not like 100% certainty that your hand will be perfect the next time you're trying to make it. So I feel like lots of people just don't see the hardship. They don't see the disappointment. They don't see the fact that sometimes that even like when you have the money to even buy the materials are not available. So I feel like there are lots of like problems that, you know, like everyone just overlooks generally, and they think it's all rosy. But truth be told, you know, and they don't see like sometimes you have to like get really dirty in the business, you know, trying to like please your customers in the sense of like going through like extreme measures, you know, and all that. I mean, like, truth be
Okay.
told, yeah, there are like a million and one things that, you know, that you have to go through as an entrepreneur. But I mean, mine started as a passion, so I was happy that I had passion. So most of the time, like when things were going really hard, I never really dwelt on it because I mean, like, I liked what I do, or I like what I'm doing at the moment. So whenever things were going hard, like I never really dwelt on it. I was like, oh, okay. I mean, it's a phase, will pass, and always like you always pass through. Thank God.
Nice. Now, sometimes because of you like to look good, and I believe that from all you've said, looking good has been a one of the catalysts that have allowed you really go deep into this. Now, why do I have this impression that most of your followers think that every morning you wake up, you are dipped in sauce, and every day of your life, you're always looking, you're always this sauce kid. You know, do you get what I'm saying? You know. So I want you to show them some. What are your morning routines like? Okay, your worst day. What's your worst day? What has your worst
Yeah,
day
your
been
video is
like?
cracking up though. Like your video is really cracking up.
Oh, okay. Can you hear me now?
Yeah, okay. It's fine, I think.
Okay. So there are days where you wake up and you're not dipped in sauce. Like many of your followers might be led to believe every day is not all clean. You know, walk me through what are some of your bad days like? And
So
what
honestly
has
speaking,
yeah.
like I love my work, so I actually love immersing myself in it fully. But there's some times that I've learned that you need to live a little, you know, because like what's the point of working so hard and at the end of the day, like you don't even get to like enjoy like all you have worked for. So I feel like sometimes you have to live a little, but sometimes I feel like me like I'm like a workaholic and all that. So I'm not even going to lie. So like when I want to like try to enjoy myself, I try
Me
to like
too,
immerse myself. Yeah. So like I'm a workaholic to be honest, but like when I like to when it's time for me to like relax and all that, I try to push myself to the extreme limit for me to relax. But I feel like my bad days would be, let's say for example, like I said, like the 1 million problems that entrepreneur faces, every single day. But because of they can't really start. It's not really the customer's business, It's like handle your house, So there are lots of problems. For example, now production wise, sometimes problems come up that you have to remake shoes 2 times, 3 times sometimes, But I mean, it's not really the customer's concern because you're meant to give him what he paid for and all that. So there are lots of problems, and all that. But truthfully, because I have a passion for it, like I don't really like to thrive on the negative aspect of entrepreneurship or the positive aspects. And me, and should be told, yeah, like I'm sort of used to it because I even like asking like my customers for feedback, and I'm hoping they give me negative feedback because I feel like positive feedback is all nice, but I mean, if I'm looking for positive feedback, I rather just ask my mom. I rather just ask my mom, oh, can you tell me something positive? So I mean, I love like negative feedback to be honest. Yeah, so that's about it.
Okay. Okay. That's so okay. Now you like to look good.
What?
What you mentioned that you like to basically in summary. I think I saw that somewhere. You like to look good.
Yeah. Yeah, like your and like your video is cracking, so like I can't really hear you properly. Like it was that season.
Oh, okay. Um. Okay. Can you hear me now? I don't know. I think my Wi-Fi.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's still about
Wi-Fi
the same,
connection.
Sha.
Okay.
Like I'm not going to lie. It's still the same.
Sorry.
It's still the
Oh.
same.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Better?
It's still the same. But don't worry, talk.
Oh,
And
wow.
like if I don't like hear you, like I'll ask you
Okay.
again.
Okay. All right. I'll go ahead. So, you clearly have a team of people you work with, or people who help
Yeah.
you with production, distribution, and all of that. Now, what has it been like leading the team?
Oh.
What has it been like leading that team?
Okay, so managing people can be like the hardest thing because you know how people always have their differences in quotes, So managing people, I'm not going to lie, it's not like the easiest thing that you can be tasked with, but I feel like in the long run you would learn to understand them, their weaknesses, their strengths, and you would always learn to like focus on your strengths and their weaknesses. Like production has like a lot of steps and a lot of processes. So if someone has a weakness in one, I wouldn't I'm not really encouraged, to put him on that path. Like, I would try to always find out, what are his strengths, then make him focus on that. But mind you, I also like, impacting people. So I'm of the idea of that, yes, focus on your strength, but don't try to neglect your weaknesses, also try to improve on your weaknesses. But in the long run, people are like, staff or people, like, are one of the most important aspects in the business. I'm never going to lie, because at first, when you're starting up, starting alone, trying to run all the races alone is like an incredible idea. Because it seems so easy and seamless. Because decision making wise, you're top notch. Because you actually don't have to like ask someone about their views. You just do what what you think is right, and most times like it turn out fine. But in the long run, if you're trying to expand, you're trying to hit more, you're trying to get more of the market share and all that, it is important to have people, and people are the most important assets in a business.
Yeah. Yeah, I like that you said people are the most important aspect. Now, but there are days where these people are not functioning at full capacity. There are days where life is happening to them. How do you manage that?
So, as a business owner, it's not like it's normal for life to happen to people. But then again, like I said, it's production. So, what I do so it doesn't affect my business. If life is happening to even like 5 of them at the same time, it doesn't really affect the production cycle, because I have a system where I rotate everybody. Like, for example, okay, let me give an example now. In my business, there's the cutting stage and design stage. There is the soul making stage. There is the styling stage. So all that. So I tend to rotate people around. So peradventure, if someone calls in sick or someone can't come to work for maybe they're having crisis of midlife or whatever reason it may be, there's always someone that is able to fill in for them, like nothing even happened. So yes, obviously I'll check on them and all that. But as my business never suffers because someone has crisis or anything.
Okay, so your processes are documented they are heavily laid on a system that just helps things fall into place over time.
Yeah,
right?
exactly.
Okay.
Yes, therefore, like most times, yeah, like I said, I like to people focus on their strengths. So the substitute worker at that time may not be as good, but is also standardly efficient, to carry out the task at hand.
Okay. So does that in a way allow you, when you have your processes documented, does that in a way allow you also reduce cost of labor? Where you may not necessarily cost of labor, because you have those processes documented, does it also help you reduce cost of labor such that sometimes for certain tasks you may not necessarily need to employ someone who has a very high level of expertise for a particular thing? So would you say in that regard it can help you reduce cost of labor?
Yeah, it actually reduces cost of labor, because in the sense of it's not necessarily in the long run, yes, but in the short run, not really, or not like significantly, because if you employ 10 people, you employ 10 people, regardless of if they meet your level of efficiency or not. Because like, you know what I'm saying, you still have to pay them regardless.
Yeah.
I have a system in the long run. It helps because I have a system of like commission and bonuses. So if they hit the required target within a certain period of time, and their job is well done, they receive bonuses. So in the long run, yes, it does, because the more they produce, there's an incentive attached to it. So they obviously would always want to produce more. And when they want to produce more, it helps in my business, because it's like it pushes them forward to produce more, and therefore I have more sales and all that. So in the long run, yes, it does, like, reduce costs in the long run. Thinking about it, yeah, it does.
Okay. What has been the best part of building Infamous by Glenn Judo?
I'm never going to lie. I think it's when I started, because when I started, like, how everyone tells you that you can't do it, and for the fun of it, like I said, I was really indifferent about what anyone said, because it was like a passion to me. So for the most of it, it is it is interesting. It was really interesting then because, you know, everyone tells you can't do it, or everyone always has something negative to say about a situation. And while you like, all you're seeing is like positive aspect of it. So, I mean, like, it was fun, like, you know, trying to like, you know, turn them basically, you know, like from, oh, that it doesn't always have to be this negative aspect, that it will actually turn out this way. And I feel like that's helped me a lot because, I mean, right now I'm on like a really stream of, I'm on a really high stream of positive vibes. So anyone like, so like whenever like a problem comes, I'm always with the solution or thinking about the solution in a positive way than saying, oh, it can't happen. I'm more of like, oh, how can it happen? Or so basically I feel like it's changed my mindset entirely. So like I'm glad that, you know, when I first started, like it wasn't like an entire bed of roses. So like I'm glad for that.
Okay, let's go deep into this particular conversation a little. You said people talk. Now, when you say people talk, as you're talking about friends, you're talking about family, all right, who at some point see the negative side to the journey of, you know, of you. There's something you see, but they see that it may not work. You know, talk a bit about how you actually were able to pull yourself away from not allowing those voices, you know, get you drowned.
Okay, so I feel like I was lucky because, like you, like I said, Infamous wasn't entirely meant to be a business from start. It was more like a passion. So imagine you like you love swimming, and someone tells you, "Oh, don't swim, because when you swim, you will get bloated, or when you swim, you can have like an injury." So I mean, it may be true at that time, but it doesn't get to you because I'm like, oh, I love swimming, you know. So it's like my thing. So like you said, not do my thing is a bit contradicting, like to my lifestyle, to how I think, to how I, you know, to me as a whole. So most of the time, like whenever someone had a negative comment about it, I saw the positive aspect. For example, now when I first started, like they were comparing me to like really, really, really good brands, and I'm like, oh, these brands have been here for like quite a while, and I just started like when yesterday. So to me, it was really great because, you know, I saw it from to them, they were like, oh, negative aspect. But to me, I saw a positive aspect that, oh, that I can actually become like this brand in this year, you know, like, you know, when people only compare you to like people like in your weight class. So for them to think I was in their weight class at that time, I was in those other brands' weight class. I mean, it felt like really good to me. So, I mean, people will always talk. Like I said, if I'm looking for like positive feedback, I'll ask my mom, oh, what does she think about the matter? And obviously she's going to tell me like things I just want to hear. But negative feedbacks are good because, you know, you actually learn from them compared to like positive feedback or like when someone's always trying to praise you. Oh, you have nice shoes, blah blah blah. I mean, they are like really awesome feedbacks, but then again, I also like when someone gets honest with me and says, oh, this is the problem. Oh, this is the problem. I mean, it helps me grow. And I feel like over the years, the feedbacks in general has, you know, helped my business entirely, change my mindset and all that.
I've heard you say something repeatedly, and I'm coming to a conclusion that your mom has apparently been one of your greatest supports in building up your company. Talk to us a bit about that.
Oh, so I'm not going to lie, because like I went to a university that was pretty close, like you're like a close community in the sense of you couldn't just leave school and when you pleased. Even if you wanted to leave school, you had to apply for exams, and they may literally cut you off sometimes. But you know, I was lucky because my mom was pretty understanding, so I always got like supply, like every single week, or sometimes twice in a week. She would send her driver to come and deliver the orders for me at that period. So I was in a close community that had constant supply of orders. Just what I'm saying. So like I had like full on supply. So when I actually think about it, I feel like if I had to go all the way to Lagos, you know, to always get my supply and all that. I mean, business would have been hectic for me, but business was like seamless for me because she would always ensure that anytime I had supply or anytime I had orders to be sent to me, they were always quickly done. So in general, I mean, yeah, like she actually helped me a lot. I'm not even going to lie. Thinking back about it, because I remember how I started with a couple of people then, you know, people with other brands, and they always had to, because maybe they probably didn't have like a more support as I did. So they always had to, you know, go to Lagos, apply for exats. Sometimes they like will reject their exats and all that. But I was like pretty like lucky, you know, to have someone that could always come through for me, like when I needed to. I remember sometimes when I actually needed to go home, and I couldn't get exats, she would have to, you know, come all the way to school to ensure I get the exat and all that. So I mean, yeah, she was really supportive. I'm never going to lie.
Nice, nice. Then you also mentioned something that caught my attention. You have accountability. Who are the people in your life who could tell you, Glenn, that thing you're doing does not make sense. Glenn, sit down, shut up. Glenn, you're doing good. Keep going. Don't quit. Who are those people who really
Oh, okay.
held you accountable?
Oh, yeah. So like, there actually a lot of people, but I mean, I want to go like into names per se, but like there was this one guy, like when I started, like obviously my parents were number one, but there's this one guy when I started, like he was like in the room next to me. So in his room, like it's a 4-man room, but luckily for me, there were like 3 people in the room, so they had like an extra locker. So I used to use I used to use the extra locker to like keep my stuff and all that. But I mean, the first batch that came for me as infamous, as me setting up as a business, the first batch that actually came, they were good, but like the orders were mixed up. Sizes were mixed up, designs were mixed up, colors were mixed up, and all that. But I mean, he said one thing that really hit me because that he said one thing like him too, like he's like a business guy too. So he said one thing that hits me, and it was basically on how things may not really go your way, and it's not like enough reason for you to to be all negative and bitter about it. And I feel like that really helped me a lot because, I mean, honestly speaking, like you have like there are some factors that you actually don't have control over. I mean, there are factors that you don't have control over. I mean, but if you try to make it weigh you down, then it would. But then again, if you try to try to rise above it, it's like a really good thing. So a lot of times, like factors like hit people and people like, oh man, I'm out of business, or oh, I mean, there are sometimes as a businessman, yeah, the biggest dilemma is should I continue or should I opt out and put my resources elsewhere? So every single time I'm faced with that challenge, I just remember that, oh yeah, things may not really go as planned as you want it to be. And also I also put in the fact that sometimes and in business, yeah, there are seasons actually. I'm never going to lie. As a Christian, I like to believe that that every season is your season. But truthfully, guy, in business there are seasons, there are cycles. There are sometimes that you're hitting a lot of sales. There are sometimes that the sales are not as great. There are some periods and over like my years in business, I realized that there are some certain periods of time that the sales are hitting like really, really hard. So to prepare for those seasons, I usually make before that season. Like so, I try making like because I'm actually bespoke, made to order. You have to place an order for it. But along the line, I've learned that there are some orders that always keep on recurring at a certain time. Like during like summer, during like Christmas, for example, now boots are like are really, really in vogue. So I tend to like make a lot of books in stock down. So peradventure, like when the surge in demand hits, I'm always like on my toes to handle it like on my supply. But in the long run, I feel like as a business owner, it's not for the as an entrepreneur, as in entrepreneurship as a whole is not for the faint-hearted. So if, like I said, it's not for the faint-hearted. Truth be
It's
told, it's not
not.
for the faint-hearted. It's not for the faint-hearted because sometimes, as in things are really going good, you're happy and all that, and just sometimes things are not as rosy as you want them to be. But do you quit? No. I mean, you should understand that there are seasons, and uh, off seasons are good for you because you have time to reflect. Time to actually think of a better plan because what worked for you last year may not work for you the current year. What worked for you the current year may not work for you next year. So off seasons are good because it's like a time for you to reflect as a whole on what you want, what are your plans, are you working towards your plans, what steps are you achieving towards your plans, and all that.
Nice. Let's go deep on something you talked about. Controlling external situations. All right. Now, how as a person are you able to remain centered within yourself that when things are going wrong around you, all right, how do you remain centered in yourself and know that this too shall pass? What do you latch your mind onto, and that allows you to control your reaction to external circumstances?
Okay. I feel like it depends on. See, honestly speaking, you just have to constantly remind yourself on why you're in business. You have to constantly remind yourself as an entrepreneur why you're in business. So sometimes, if you're in business for profit and profit is not hitting, what does that tell you? that that this business may not eventually be for you. But like mine was based on passion. So whenever like things are not going smoothly or I can't control some external factors, I learn on the external factors. Like, for example, I've learned on the fact that when, like, for example, now when there's a pandemic like this now, have learned that you need to like always produce and have some ready made for the sake of what happens if your production is halted at the moment, or let's say production in like general your area is halted, or what happens if markets are closed permanently for like some months, what happens to you? So have learned now, and I'm glad that like I started learning even before like it actually hit me. Because I stocked up like a month ago. I made some extra pairs that I know that would go in some similar sizes about a month ago. So I was pretty on my game on this, because truth be told, yeah, as humans, we want to control everything. We want everything to be at our beck and call, but that's not the case. So, like I said, if your aim in business is to make profit and you're not hitting a profit, I think it's time for you to either wake up or your mindset about it, or you have to leave the business. Because when I started back then, the shoemaking game or industry at that time was less crowded. But now, it is like a lot crowded. Like every single time I will realize that, oh, there's this new person that's making this, there's new person that's making that. So it's like enough, because the more people, the more suppliers are in your industry, the lesser the profits are generally. But like, because you're always eating into your market share, whether you like it or not. But I've learned in a long time that like I'm doing it for my passion. And so I feel like at the moment, as in like, I can't give up, because no matter what hits me, I can't give up. Like I'm always on my A game, because I know why, and I'm constantly reminding myself why I'm into the business.
Nice. Then I'm going to merge two things you said together. You said and I'm going to refer to a book, Simon Sinek's book, Start with Why. All right. Always remember why you're doing this, and then you now said also that you must prepare for seasons. Prepare for seasons. So in preparing for seasons, do you mean that we must all spend adequate time at the foundation stage to ensure that we are able to accelerate really fast when opportunities come, that no matter how fast we're trying to accelerate, because we have spent enough time in the foundation, it allows us the capacity to actually withstand pressure from the new season, probably a favorable one, or whether not favorable. So talk a bit about preparing for good seasons and preparing for bad seasons. What is it, more of a mind state thing, a physical thing? What's that for you?
Okay, so because I studied economics in school, so I pretty understand the dynamics of things. For example, now when a lot of people have it good, they're making a lot of sales. They're usually about, oh, how am I? How, like, oh, like, what do I need? Like, what they usually tend to forget about what their business needs, because they're all like, oh, what do I need? Like, I'm the one that's following this business. So now that the business is making a lot of profit, what do I need? So me, in my time of good, I don't focus on what do I need per se, but I try to focus on what does my business need. So like, does my business need to, stock up more in advance? Does my business need to buy more machines? Does my business need to, employ more staff? Does my business need to, pay for more marketing strategies? Does my business need to, pay for more ads? So that as a whole, so sometimes I think about it that, oh, that am I actually like, fueling or like fueling my business more than I'm actually fueling my actual self? But I've learned that in the long run, the more you take care of your business, the more your business takes care of you.
Grows.
It's like, as in, it's 50-50. But then again, in the times of good, have learned that you have to save for the rainy day, obviously. You have to stock up for the rainy day, obviously. So have learned that when you have good times, you should always like stock up, or save to the point that your good times would help you in the time of bad times, because if you're eating it good
kind of
now,
like what.
exactly.
So finish up.
So So you're basically using like the good times to supplement the bad time. I mean, bad times will come, obviously. It's a business cycle. Like, even as in, because at first, yeah, I would say, oh, you know, good times. But sometimes when I actually start like calculating, because you know, when you're having others week in, week out, and you actually don't document it, as in to you, you're actually having a constant smooth flow. You know, you feel like, oh, okay, others are always coming in, so it's always a good time. But when you actually sit there and document it, I mean, good time, as in like there are different grades, there are different levels to good times. But you actually realize that yes, you're having a good time, but you're not having a great time compared to your past endeavors. So I mean, bad times will always come, but you should have like the good times, you know, to help you handle it out.
Okay. I know we said this was going to be for 20 minutes, but there's just so much that you're dropping that it's leading me to more questions that, you know, like I heard something you said again that how you're handling competition, you know, how do you manage right now your industry? Would you say your industry is saturated?
You're cracking up. Like I can't hear you.
Okay. My question is, would you say, I'm going to another question, but answer this first. Would you say your industry is saturated? Did you hear that?
Because I started this stuff, I started my business about 5 years ago. And I'll say when I started, is either I didn't have like enough information as I have now, or there are lots of people that have started like within that 5 year period. Because I'm never going to lie. There are lots of people that have started and also gone within that 5 year period, but there are also people that have also started within that 5 year period. So I would say that, I mean, there are lots of more there's a lot more competition than it once was. And I've learned that as an entrepreneur, when there's competition, you have to learn how to ignore the noise. You know, focus on what you're doing. Because you know how a lot of people are always caught up on what their competitors are doing, that they forget to actually do what they're doing. You know, they're always trying to, oh, what did my competitor do? Let me try to, you know, walk over it, or let me try to do something similar and try to get like the same result. But what they actually forget that they may be looking up to somebody, but most of the time the person also looking up to you. So how do you look up to someone that's also looking up to you?
Sure.
Have learned a lot that, as in, like, I mean, you could be intimidated as a brand, but the funny part about it that the guy is also intimidated as much as you are, if not more. So I mean, just like do what you do, ignore the noise, and focus on what you're doing. Should be told.
Man, Glenn, if you leave me out, there's so many more questions that I have. You know, there's many more questions that I have. You know, because even this last thing you talked about on focus, you know. Okay, let me just chip this one. Let me ask this one. Now, you talked about focusing on what you are doing and not looking at someone else's lane. All right. I have this belief that this general belief that every single human being is created uniquely. All right. So teach us, what in your experience, how have you been able to try to stay focused where all you see is you? All right, all you see is you, and then you compete with yourself to become better than you were yesterday. Talk to us a bit about how you stay focused on yourself.
Okay. So it's one thing to have dreams, and it's one thing to actually write down your dreams. So, as little as this thing sounds, yeah, like writing down your dreams, it's times 10 more effective than just having it up in your head. Now, as a brand owner, or as not even as brand owner this time, as anybody should, like, everybody should actually take time, you know, to write down what they want, and they should write out steps or ways on how they plan to achieve that. So now, if you're focusing on that, trust me, you would not even have time to even always look at the competition or what's competition doing. But I feel like a lot of brands are just idle, not idle, as in, like, I mean, production wise, I know that they are top notch, but like they're idle in the sense of how do I expand? What is my next step? They're idle because, you know, they are so focused on what other people are doing that they don't even realize that they are selling themselves short. I feel like you as a person, you're unique. You're a unique being, and you trying to be like somebody is like you cheating yourself, you know, because the skills you have are nothing compared to to the same skill that your competitor has in code. So, I mean, so if you try to dwell on the negative aspect of it, that, oh, he's doing good, or his brand is more out there, or he's making more sales. And one thing I've learned about this thing is that being out there doesn't mean you're making sales, you know. Being out there, because a lot of people think, because like the more you're out there, the more you make sales. Yes, in the long run, yes, I mean it is, but in the short run, yes, you're right. But in the long run, a lot of brands are not sustainable because they are spending more time on putting their brand out there than actually working on their products. When I started, and my brand was not exactly, I mean, like some people say it was out there, but to me, it wasn't exactly out there because I was too busy working on trying to make it better, you know, listening to all the feedback and all that. So I feel like in the long run, if you work more on your brand than trying to put it out there, it's like a really great thing, because you know how people like could order today, then because they don't like what they got, they won't order again. You understand? It's better for you to even work on your brand more than when they finally order, they come back. Because for every customer that doesn't come back, you're actually making a loss. Yeah, so
just that word brand is deep. So I think, do you think we could say it this way, that it's better to work on your operations within the company, and then you work on the brand separate? Would that be a better way to position it? Because when you say work on brand, I think people might have the mindset that work on your visibility, as opposed to working on the back end things, the operations. And I think that's what you were trying to communicate. Correct me if I'm wrong.
Yeah, basically. Yeah, true. Yeah, you're totally right. But work on the operations, yes, but then also work on your brand. But I think it's more, in the long run, it's more advisable to work on your operations first. Because if you notice, like I was talking to someone about this some days ago, and he says, oh, that he literally thought that only happened like in the tech space. You know how people try to like test run their tech apps or their application before they like literally release it to the public. And I'm like, oh, as I mean, it's like it's applicable to any life circumstance, you know. Like, try to walk in your corner then before you bring it out in public. So yeah, you're right. Totally, that's it.
Nice, great. Thank you so much. I still have more questions, you know, from what you said. But let's end it this way. If you were to recommend that, you're a book person, are you? I'm going to be your book person. You read books, right?
I can't really hear you. I you was cracking up.
Okay. What 3 books would you say have impacted your life over the last 5 years? What 3 books would you say have really made a difference for you?
So I'm not going to I'm going to mention basic books that everyone should read, because I'm not like entirely as in like I don't really read that much. I first read into like audiobooks and all that, but I would say that Blue Ocean Strategy #1.
Which one?
Say
it again.
Blue Ocean Strategy.
Okay.
Yes, Blue Ocean Strategy. So I feel like this book here in particular, I actually took it from my friend, because I can't remember why I took it. Like, I think last time I was trying to look for a book to read. So like I just saw the cover, it was like the blue cover. So I was fascinated, like, oh, okay, let me just keep it. And for the fact that like he was so, they saying no, like, I sure you won't take it, like, no, take another one, you know. He was particular about that book. So I feel like that book had, like, you know, some sentimental value to it. So I read it, and I mean, I feel like it shaped my mind about a lot of things. And also what's this book by Robert Kiyosaki? Is that his name?
Which one?
Rich Kid, or
Rich Dad Poor Dad.
Yeah, exactly. Rich Dad Poor Dad. Yeah, that's
Okay.
also like one of them. If you read, I mean, like, for an entrepreneur, like, you should actually understand what rat race is, on how a lot of people subvert themselves into rat races, and by the end of the day, you know, at the end of the day, they're still in that cycle. You know, they are set to continue working for the rest of their life. While some people just, you know, just try to like push into entrepreneurship or whatever they are doing, you know, and can get sustained for the rest of their life. Yeah, so those two basically. Yeah.
What's the third one?
The third one, I'm not going to lie.
Yeah.
Third one. I think just two for now. Then I'll probably think about the third one. Then I'll let you know, like, before the.
All right, cool. Donald the software is recommending when it says success through a positive. Okay, is that name a book or success through a positive mental attitude? Donald, is that a book? That's an entirely new conversation, by the way. Success through a positive mental attitude. I think that's something. You mentioned it a lot. You mentioned it a lot. Positivity was something that was a recurring theme in all of the things. Positive vibe, positive thoughts, positive attitude. You know, that's something you constantly repeated throughout this conversation. Oh, okay, yeah. He said it's a book. So the name of the book is Success Through a Positive Mental Attitude. Okay. Thank you very much, Donald. Thank you. All right, so
I should definitely check that out.
Sorry?
Yeah, like I'm saying, like I should definitely check out the book.
Yeah. I think so. Yeah. I'm so glad.
Okay. There's also one, like I just remember now, it's by Teddy Dexoa. So I don't really like to talk about religious books because you know how a lot of people don't really believe in religion per se. They believe more in hard work and all that. But I mean, I'm never going to lie. There are some things that I get that I know that I don't deserve. So I try most of the times to just, no, I say I try. I put my mindset on it. My mindset is set on the fact that a lot of times it's not like by my hand, but by God's grace. So Soa by TD Jakes is also like an awesome book. If you can tap into the frequency, it's really an awesome book. As in, you realize that a lot of things can work out, you know. As in, like, or like a lot of things.
Say the name again. Say the name again.
So, let me tap it out.
Oh, great. Awesome. Thank you. Tap it out so others can also benefit as well.
All right.
Okay. Oh, Saw by TD Jakes. Yes. Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
It's a really great book.
Thank you.
It's a really great book.
Glenn, I'm so glad that we had this conversation. I'm hoping that by the grace of God, before the year runs out, we should be able to do this. You know, I still feel that there are so many questions that we could still answer. You know, and share. Thank you so much for your time, Glenn. I appreciate it. You're doing an amazing job with Famous. All right. No problem.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you very much.
All right.
I'm going to end the live right now. All right. Bye-bye.
All right.